Hi, everyone. This is Ryan Fasan from Tile, Spain, and I want to welcome you all to our Meet the Makers event, where we get to talk to a bunch of the different brands from the Tile, Spain global umbrella. And today we're talking to Annabelle Torres from Dune, or Dune. Annabelle, welcome.
Well, hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, no, it's an incredible time. I mean, everyone's getting ready for Chersai, and there's all these novelties coming out. And I think, after talking to a few different manufacturers, it seems like this sort of period of unbridled creativity. Everyone's been trapped inside and got their gears churning and creating some really exciting things. So I can't wait to hear what Dune has going on. So one of the places that I thought I'd start with is sort of the boom in color that we've seen really started to come on in about 2019. We started to see people really embracing color a lot more in tile, which is something that we've been somewhat allergic to here in North America. And I know that Dune is a really decorative and expressive company. So how's your company embracing color, and how are you finding that trend working for the kind of product line that Dune has?
Well, it's a great time for us. I mean, we are known for colors and textures. That's always our novelty, our focus, and it's a great time for us. We've gone from very vibrant colors to also really cool PVD oil slick kind of finishes on tile, which is really innovative and just a showstopper really wherever you see it.
So PVD is not an acronym I'm familiar with. You want to explain that?
Yes, that's an actual just metal finish. That's physical vapor disposition. It's an actual metal
Okay.
on ceramic tile. So we've released a flat deluxe this year, which has an actual rainbow effect, just kind of random within the tile. So it's a full range. So it's pretty.
Okay. So now is that a specialty finish? Like, is it third fire, or is that a full like normal production kind of line?
That is going to be a special production. That is a special finish for us. It is a third fire, whereas we do also have full ranges of colors in our other collections. This year, very popular is the Chicago collection, which was inspired by a lot of the wallpaper and just upholstery
Okay.
and designs that we have in different fairs. Chicago, really, that palette was inspired by 100% design in London and the Maison Object in Paris. So we start seeing some of that vibrant hues of that yellow or the olive green and the ginger juxtaposed
Okay.
those nice neutral, like neutral off whites or ashes.
Okay, so those are kind of like wallpaper style super graphics that bridge from piece to piece and can create like an infinite look, or how
Both.
does that work? Oh, okay.
Actually, both. That collection has decos that are really large prints that kind of connect and make that large wallpaper effect, and also just very clean finishes like terrazzo that's making a comeback, or small variation in like that satin matte finish that is really popular now. High coefficient,
Yeah.
high coefficient, very slip resistant, but it's nice and soft. It's no longer gritty.
Okay, so you're doing that in both porcelain and ceramic, like you're embracing color in both floor and wall categories.
Absolutely. We embrace the color wherever we can. We've got floor to wall and a bright yellow sink to match it, so you could be as bold as you want.
That's right. That's something that is a little atypical that Dune has done for quite a while now, creating vessels that match for sinks that match the tile collections that you do. Is there is it just vessel sinks that you do? Is that kind of the specialty?
Pretty much. It's just pretty much the vessel sinks. We've also started incorporating the fittings to match
Oh,
these wild colors because, if you've got a rose gold sink, you don't want a silver faucet or a silver fitting
right.
there. So we've started adapting to what the designers want. They speak, we listen.
That's very cool. So speaking to, listening to what the designers want, like you can't swing a stick without hitting the word biophilia these days. And, with everyone kind of being trapped inside and being stuck in an indoor environment, there's just this deep sort of drive and need to reconnect to nature. And it's funny, you see some brands really embrace it in a very literal sense, and they're doing a lot of florals and things like that, and others are simply sort of taking a tact of, well, we're going to be biophilic adjacent and creating tones that support vegetation inside and support the natural environment and more natural materials. I haven't talked to a single company that isn't leaning into it in some way. So how's Dune approaching biophilia in designs?
Well, like everyone, we've been stuck at home. Everyone's adopted a plant. Everybody wants to feel outside, bring the outdoors indoors as we're all trapped in here. So we've actually approached that in a very literal sense, as well as playing with colors and tones and palettes. So on a very graphic level, we've got some releases like bamboo, where you have some soft vegetation prints in greens, almost like a soft watercolor finish. And then
Okay.
we've got very vibrant textile inspired prints, where it's large florals, large tropical prints, more of a textile inspired, that wallpaper print we were talking about before. So we've gone very literal, and then we've been inspired by the colors of nature's on some of our releases. We've got Tabarca this year. It's a Mediterranean kind of inspired look with a lot of blues and greens and teals, kind of full range with a variance, and it reminiscent of the Mediterranean. In contrast, we have Valencia, which is basically a lot softer. It's trying to pull some of that Valesian lagoon, the pastel tones of the earth and the water, and bring it into almost like a nice serene print to classic design. So we've taken both approaches on that.
Yeah, that's very cool. The other thing that I've actually seen a big rise in, and obviously it speaks to the heart of Spanish tile production, is cotos and terracotta looks. Is that kind of a color range or an aesthetic that Dune is leaning into, or not so much?
Absolutely. And in the US, it's been a rise. Market has really leaned into that terracotta look. We're doing a lot of projects with terracotta flooring and a wood inspired tile to go with it. Just that very like red clay kind of look, just weathered. And it always begins in commercial and then it comes into residential. So it's only a matter of time till the residential picks it up as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, to me, terracotta and vegetation just kind of fit together, because you think of, the terracotta pots that you put your houseplants in. And so,
Yep.
that just really kind of fits the biophilic trend. And as you say, I mean, hospitality environments generally have a lot more vegetation. They do a lot more of those kind of finishing details, and we're seeing that kind of trickle down into residential now. So it makes a lot of sense that terracottas are on the rise when biophilia is as well. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very cool. Now I know for a lot of our factories, but especially our decorative ones like Dune, digital technology is something that's absolutely huge, and we've had so much change in the capabilities that we can work with in product development now. We're not just designing digitally decorating with color. We can decorate with tones and even textures and metallics, and so those are investments that factories are making. Is there one more than the other, or certain ones that Dune is embracing in product development right now?
Well, the evolution in digital printing has been a godsend for us. I mean, that's our jam. We did everything old school, silk screening, and now we have the ability to do that all at once on a digital scale. So we've actually recently renovated our facilities to do mostly just digital printing. So now what used to be done all silk screen, where it would be in large batches because of the raw materials and the preparation time, we it's now a lot simpler. All those metallic gangs, the glass, the matte, the metallic pellets could all be done at once digitally. So it's cut the time and a lot more cost effective.
Yeah, so that's huge for a digital company because generally, if you're having to do multiple passes and even worse, multiple passes through the kiln and then redecorate, the cost just increases exponentially, and that's where your decorative stuff gets incredibly expensive, and it's sold by the piece instead of by the square foot or square meter. So you know you're able to then are you doing any multiple finishes? Like, are you doing glossy inks as well on a matte glaze and things like that?
Yeah, that's what's really cool because what used to take us, multiple screens to apply that material. Now we and those different finishes, we could do it all at once. So we've got a great new deco this year that the Leonella, part of the Leonardo collection, which is a marble look with some gold printing and veining and different textures on it. And all of that is now done all at once. So we get that print with some gloss, some matte, some texture, some gold in there all at once, where it used to be different processes. So that's an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that with the advent of digital and then also working with base glazes like, the Engo that's creating the overall finish of the tile. We've never really been able to have multiple finishes in a we can't previously to this sort of digital revolution, it's been very, very difficult to have one portion of a tile be matte and then other little flecks be glossy. And I'm finding that it's creating so much more realism when we're doing woods or marbles or especially metals and things like that. To have that variance in finish, it's creating a so much more engaging and deeper look for a lot of the reproductions. Is that where you're seeing a lot of these techniques being used, or is it in some of the more graphics, or both?
We've actually been using it a little bit of both. So
Okay.
even some of our just less decorative field tiles will have maybe a matte and a gloss finish. So adds a little bit of texture, adds a little bit more dimension, whereas some of our heavily decorated tiles might have a shift in colors, might have a vitreous paste on it. So it depends on how we use it, but it's definitely an advantage to all the different looks we try to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. I think that now, with the trends that are going on and the shift between, all fields becoming sort of semi-decorative with the technology that we have available to us now, I think the time is ripe for for Dune. So
Absolutely.
so I'm sure that the fair next week is going to be a big thing for you, showcasing all the new stuff, and I think that 2022 is a bright time for Dune.
Absolutely. We're excited for this time and everyone engaging colors and textures. So this is our jam. We're pretty excited and what keeps us unique.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, Annabelle, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us here, and I hope that anyone that isn't familiar with Dune makes their way over to the website and checks it out either in the Quick Ship collection on Tile of Spain or at Dune's website as well. So thank you, Annabelle.
Thanks, Ryan.